In 1991, the Peter Westbrook Foundation was launched by the legendary fencer Peter Westbrook and his fellow Olympic teammates. Peter recognized fencing's potential as a vehicle for developing life skills in inner-city youth as a result of having experienced its transformative effects in his own life. Since then, over 2,000 inner-city kids have enrolled in this not-for-profit community program that has become one of the most successful of its kind in New York and the United States, with many trying to model and copy its enormous success.
Fencing in America has grown tremendously. I remember when I was a kid, someone said, "What's in that bag?" I said, "Fencing equipment." They said, "Oh, you got them little white fences in the bag." I said, "Yeah, Now, when I walk down the street, what's in that bag? Fencing equipment. Even in Harlem, in the black community where fencing is a little foreign. "Oh, you do that épée or that saber stuff, right?" I said, "Yes."
Peter's creating opportunity for everybody to be involved, regardless of your financial status, skin color, background, the neighborhood that you grew up.
The Peter Westbrook Foundation, to me, is a big family. He created an amazing foundation, and he's created some amazing athletes.
We strive to really make an impact in these kids' lives.
Fencing has such an incredible impact on my present life. It's hard to imagine that I would have anything I've got going on without it.
I've grown up here. They're my base, like my rock. I have so many resources here, and I'm really fortunate.
We celebrate our successes, what's on the strip as well as what's off the strip. It's not just about, all right, you won a competition, but it's about, oh, you're getting married. It's about the family.
The foundation, to me, is a part of my life that I can't imagine being without.
When I think of the foundation, I think of just the way that it's changed my life, and it put sport in my life in a sense that I'm not sure if I would still be fencing today if it weren't for the Peter Westbrook Foundation.
The foundation is really a foundation for creating dreams for people that might not have ever even thought of the possibilities of what they can achieve.
I would describe the foundation as being very family-oriented, and what we do is help mentor kids from when they're young to become strong adults, not only in fencing, but in life.
Fencing is often looked at as an elite sport, and because of seeing the diversity of the athletes that have come through the foundation, I think it's made it a lot more visible.
If you look in the room here, you have so many African Americans, inner city kids here. So once we had someone bring their cute little white daughter, and she came here and said, "Wow." I said, "What?" She said, "I never mind." I said, "What's on your heart?" She says, "All these years, I never knew fencing was a black sport. I always thought it was a white sport. Now I see it is a black sport." I said, "Oh, no, it just looks like that because we have so many children. And this is our product. We're here every Saturday, 9 to 12. We mentor the kids. We transform their lives. Some of them become Olympians, world champions, national champions. And this is the love of my life."
Peter himself was a 6-time Olympian, and look what he ends up doing. He works, but then he starts this foundation, and he's giving back week in and week out. And these kids that are growing up watching him, see him giving back, see all the things that he did, and with his time, he's giving back. They, on their own accord, are now doing the same thing. And I think that's part of the beauty of it. I mean, I think they truly look at that foundation as a family, and they're giving back to their family, and they're giving back to their next generation of kids that are gonna hopefully go on and do well in life and in fencing.
Peter was so good at setting the tone. It's not about just your performance, it's about how you help those who are part of the foundation also perform. It's not about an individual, it's about a team, it's about the family. It's a labor of love.
They remind me that it's not about necessarily winning on the strip or what fencing can do for you. They remind me that we owe it to the kids coming up to give back. You know, they serve to me as a reminder that even through all their success, through their Olympic medals, that they remember to come back every Saturday and instill that kind of, just, I guess, faith and confidence in the kids that they can do anything that they put their mind to.
To be coached by an Olympic level athlete as like a 10-year-old kid is really, that's a huge opportunity. When you're 10, you don't really think about it, you just assume that. But it did something very important for me in that it gave me the chance to, it almost made me aspire to do great things without really thinking about it.
The most important thing to me, I always thought, getting the kids to go to the Olympic Games or being world champion or national champion. Now I see it's the kids coming and just giving back. The kids coming and want to make a difference in somebody else's life.
That's really what the organization is about, more than it is about actually even really fencing. It's really about sort of like, how do we like help these kids who may not otherwise, have like strong role models, especially, many of the Black kids and the Black boys in particular. Although the foundation is fairly diverse, know that there is a strong need for like role models in the Black community. So I think that's one of the most powerful things, and it's why I go there every Saturday, because it's so enriching, I think, both for us and for them. Like, we learn a lot from them kids, and hopefully they continue to learn a lot from us.
When I first started, it was just me and Mike Lofton and Herbie and Bob Cottingham. That's it. 4 people running all these kids. Now the little kids have grown up. Now we put a little fertilizer on the kids, a little water, and they've grown up into flowers. Now I have Keith Smart, silver medalist, Aaron Smart, silver medalist, Herbie, Ivan Lee, Olympian, Aki, Olympian. I have all these kids that were once 9 and 10 years old. Now they're 20, 30 years old, helping me run the program. It's amazing. I teach the kids how to give back, and they all come back now to give back. I don't have to do this by myself. I have Olympians, world champion, helping me because they believe in our cause, giving back as much as we've given to you. I got to get somebody one day to take over when I'm not here. They think I'm going to live forever. Maybe I will, but probably not. So I got to make sure we're grooming people to do what I do. Uplift the kids, put water on them, watch them grow to become great citizens of this nation.
He has used his background as a success in sport to leverage himself and, more importantly, give him the base to leverage new people that are coming along, young kids, and train them in a sport that he passionately believes is a key to how you live your life.
The foundation does several things. One is it works within a group of kids who would not otherwise be exposed to something like fencing.
The foundation is amazing. They do such wonderful things with the children. It's not just a matter of physical exercise. A lot of the coaches share their life stories with the kids, and it's hard to find adults willing to admit their flaws to children, to try to let them know it's okay to fail and that there's always something better coming.
I would recommend it to anybody. First of all, sports, I really support sports in general. It builds character, it teaches you to interact with people, it builds, it's a really positive part of growing up. So I would recommend this program to anyone.
It's more than the sport. They care about you as a person. They want to see you succeed overall. The academic side, the tutoring is available. Just being a better person, being a positive person, being somebody who's going to contribute positively to society is what they instill in you, and the discipline and everything that goes along with fencing.
I think it's a mecca for people who are about being the best of the best.
There are no rules. In other words, if the light is on, you get a touch. If 2 lights are on, it's 1-1. So there are no rules. I mean, there's rules, but not really. So, 10 touches on guard. Thanks. You guys are taking this real serious, y'all. I'm trying to turn it into a street fight.
after the foundation, many of the students will go right around the corner to 29th Street to the Westbrook Tutoring Center.
I work with the children who sign up for the academic enrichment program, where we provide SAT prep, PSAT prep, a specialized high school test preparation, and I also have implemented us having literacy coaches to help children with their reading and writing skills, and I also have on staff a college readiness coach to help children find out where they need to be for college. And we also provide one-on-one tutoring for our students.
The academic programs, a lot of the kids can't afford to pay for those classes like Kaplan courses, PSATs, SATs, SHSATs. Those courses are $2,000. So what do? We make it affordable for them to take those workshops for no charge. What has it done? It has increased their points in these test-taking skills 15, 20%. I've been doing this 23 years, and the high school graduation rate in New York City, 1 out of every 6 kids drop out. 1 out of 6 kids in New York City drop out. At our small site, 98% graduate from high school, 95% graduate to college, go on to great colleges on time. Schools like Penn State, University of Penn, Ohio State, Princeton, Columbia, NYU, St. John's. Must I say more?
It's so important because at the end of the day, your career as a fencer will last maybe 20, 30 years if you're lucky. The foundation that you learn from academics will carry you for the rest of your lifetime.
One entity that sees the difference that the PWF is making is the Altman Foundation, a significant contributor.
The Peter Westbrook Foundation is an example of our grantees that bridge both sports and education. And so that they are an organization that's producing scholar athletes that are performing at the highest levels in multiple dimensions.
It's very well run, and that it's a nice combination of the wonderful appeal of a sport. I mean, you can do this with lots of sports where, you get the discipline and the camaraderie and learning the teamwork and all of those things that makes you really want to be good. I think these kids get more comfortable in school, they begin to get better grades, and Peter has been very successful in doing that. And if by chance you have an Olympic champion out of the program, that's good too.
Before fencing, I had never left the state. Before fencing, I had never left the country. Just that experience itself was the greatest thing in the world for me. The Peter Westbrook Foundation and fencing has taken me places that I never thought that I would go in my life. When I started, my life was just a couple blocks, maybe a city. But after joining fencing, it became the world.
At the time that I was fencing with the team, we were able to go behind the Iron Curtain when many people didn't have that experience. Gives you a broader global knowledge, and your interactions with people also makes you a broader human being and gives you a better understanding of what really goes on in the world.
Fencing does not reward someone that is the tallest or the strongest or the fastest, but it rewards those that work the hardest.
I chose fencing because it wasn't just about being an athlete, it was about being a thinker, a planner.
Every time you come and fence someone, there's always different things involved. Your nervous system, you look at the opponent, there's so many different ways to beat the opponent, there's so many ways to lose. You can fence the same person every single night for decades, and it's always an unbelievable challenge because there's so many variables.
You take a lot of risks in fencing, calculated, but a lot of risks in fencing. And that's really what it taught me to do, is to have the confidence and get rid of that anxiety and that butterfly feeling in the belly to go into something new, take on a challenge, take the risk, and persevere.
I always hear people say, it's not about winning or losing, it's how you play the game, as long as you tried your best. Nah, later for all that. I want to win. I want to win everything, all the time. But fencing, fencing taught me how to be competitive. It taught me how to be a fighter and always fight to the end.
Every single time, whenever I lose, they always tell me the same thing, like, you try your best every time, but it's not good enough. You always just gotta do better, you know, always fight, because there's always a time in the bout where you give up for a second, you lose that touch for a second, you give up, and that could change the whole bout. They just tell me, look, you can't ever give up for a second. You always got to keep fighting no matter what, just fight, fight, fight. And every time, that's what I think about in everything I do now, just like fight, being the best I can be in anything.
I loved fencing because of how much I had to rely on myself, and because of how much I had to both think and physically perform something.
Use this sport to your advantage. You know, don't always think that everyone's not going to be an Olympian, and everyone's not going to be an Olympian. Everyone's not going to be a world championship team member or world champion. But if you give it your all and your best, you'll go to the school that you wanted to get to, or you get into college. Maybe you get scholarships.
I mean, without the foundation, without fencing, I mean, I'm sure I would have gone to a good school. Like, I'm not a dumb kid, but with fencing, like, it just opened so many doors for me. Like, this is one of the most thankful things I have in my life, going to a great school, just because of fencing, all because of fencing, really.
It's wonderful to see people who have come up and through, and some fencers may not have quite the professional potential, but they're going to achieve a lot more in life than with fencing than they would have without it.
There are things that you learn from fencing that you can't get from anything else in life. And that's something that is invaluable, where just learning to lose, learning to adapt.
The most important to learn from sport is that you know how to deal with defeat and victory, that you learn a defeat is not the end of it all, and the victory does not make you superior to others.
If you're competitive, you want to succeed at pretty much anything. And if you are able to do that under a lot of pressure and in a game that's very mentally demanding, then I don't think it's terribly surprising that people find a way to translate those life lessons into professional successes that are maybe different than what other sports or other athletes might find themselves able to achieve.
Learning to assess situations and quickly make decisions. Those are skills that are invaluable and translate professionally. There's a reason why so many fencers that retire are successful in all other walks of life.
Fencing is not just an activity, it has become sort of an integral part in a way of life.
Everything in my life is attributed to fencing, no question. And when you peel it back one more layer, it's because of Peter.
With the way he has created the foundation, he just did it, you know, because his background, he believed that he can empower students through fencing.
I love that Peter took his success as an athlete, as a minority athlete, and he saw what fencing did for him, and he wanted to spread that type of love, in a sense, and give back to the community.
He reminds you, hey, you know, this is important. We're doing this for a reason. It's not just me. You know, you're not doing it for me. You're doing it. There's a bigger cause, these kids. And he'll say, like, it's, you know, it's the whole group. It's the whole group that makes it, but he absolutely is the thread that really sort of, like, keeps everything together.
We all go through this foundation together, being a part of one another, growing together, loving together, feeling each other's pain and suffering together, just like a family.
I'm sure a lot of people talk about PWF being their second family, which I think is because that's what everyone thinks of as the role of a family, that those are people that love you unconditionally and are there when you need help to work through whatever is troubling you.
We're all very honest with each other, and sometimes it hurts, and we might resent each other at times, but it's in passing because we know it's out of love, and it's a family based on love and people that really do care about you.
Just having a place that you can come to that's so surreal and so outside of the usual. Every weekend I try to think about those kids who get that opportunity. I think that's the most important thing, is that you're opening up another world for someone else.
I'm just so thrilled with the children. Not only have they pursued academic excellence, they've pursued fencing excellence, they've pursued just being the best that they can be.
I think the Westbrook Foundation is probably the most successful thing that fencing has done as a sport. I think it's a profoundly important and really quite an amazing accomplishment that Peter's put all that together in such a short amount of time.
I always thought that I was just touching their lives and making a difference in their lives. I see now they have made an equal contribution to me because they have changed my life. They have made me a better person. They have made me to see many things that I could not see.
The foundation is basically a community that Peter dreamt up 23 years ago, where we basically teach kids how to fence, and a whole bunch of other things just happen to fall out from that.
The Peter Westbrook Foundation is a vision and a dream that has gone far beyond the seeds that were planted.
I can't ask for anything greater than what we all have done for one another and for all the kids. It's a dream come true. I never thought we would be this successful. I never thought we would touch so many's lives. I never thought we would do this much damage in the fencing world and throughout the whole world.
The Olympian spirit is embodied in the Peter Westbrook Foundation.
The bond that we have in fencing is very unusually special. You can go anywhere in the world and we still have a bond together.
In 2014, Keith and Erin Smart and Ivan Lee were inducted into the U.S. Fencing Hall of Fame.
Peter, this is your Hall of Fame ceremony. 3 of your students are getting inducted into the Hall of Fame today. And it's because of your vision, it's because of your sacrifice, it's because of your dedication.
I know I call you kids, I know you're grown men and women, but let me tell you something, you will always be my kids. God bless you and congratulations.
The Peter Westbrook Foundation, a true path to excellence.
You like it, huh? He's over there like, yeah. I love this, man. Don't put this in there. Don't put this in there. I love this shit. I love teaching these kids. I love these kids, man. You understand? I love them to death. And this is what we produce. All Picasso, all wonderful contributors. I'm the luckiest man in the world. Trust me, I am the luckiest man in the world.